Hello everyone and welcome to the review of the Umidigi F3 Pro 5G phone. Check out this zoom. Oh yeah, that's great. The video quality of this rear camera is not very good. And yeah, this is kind of a worst case example. It's a little bit better than that for photos, and thankfully the phone works better for other phone things. As you can see while I'm walking down this section, there's no such thing as image stabilization, not even electronic EIS. And the video quality is maximum 1440p. But that doesn't really matter because the left side of everything is out of focus. Photos, videos, doesn't matter, it's always blurry. For the sake of comparison, here's a video from my OnePlus 8 Pro. Ultra Steady is turned on, and I'm walking and holding the phone just the same as I was with the Umidigi. Also, I just realized that the ultra-wide camera doesn't do video. That bodes well for the rest of this review. Quite frankly, these cameras are not very pro, so let's switch off of them so that you don't have to suffer through the shakiness and out of focus blurriness of these cameras.
If this phone is kind of slow and the cameras kind of suck, then why buy it? Well, it turns out that a slow processor and a big battery means great battery life. Who would have figured? Thankfully, it's not all that bad for regular phone stuff. Running apps is reasonably quick, making calls and text messages is decent enough. But if you want to take any photos whatsoever, this camera sucks. I wouldn't even want to give it to my grandparents. I've been putting off making this video for a while because this phone is a bit of a mixed bag to me. On one hand, I can forget about it in my car for 2 days, come back, and it'll have only lost about 20% battery. On the other hand, I can forget about it in my car for 2 days. My main use for this phone is doing social media for my business, where I edit video on my desktop computer, send it wirelessly to the phone, then upload it to Twitter, Instagram, etc. For that purpose, it's totally fine, but I hate how I can't do any video on this phone and upload it directly to social media because the video quality sucks. That's a headphone jack, and 3 real camera lenses, a normal camera, a wide-angle camera, and a macro camera. They all work, for photos. The wide angle and the macro camera do not do video, and the main camera is 1440p with no image stabilization. Yeah, beyond dreams. Sure, the screen looks good, the colors are bright and vibrant, but that refresh rate is just great. One other thing that sucks about this phone are its notifications or lack thereof. MediaTek processors have this app called DuraSpeed, which is very aggressive about closing background apps, and that means you don't get notifications on important apps, even when whitelisted. But for the most part, I can't fault this phone for being a cheap phone. It does exactly what it describes, loads social media apps, makes phone calls, text messages, WhatsApp, no problems there. But I just wish the cameras were better. Even Xiaomi's cheap phones have pretty good cameras in comparison to this. There are some good things about it, like the screen is bright and vibrant and the selfie camera isn't too bad. They're redeeming factors, but I still wouldn't want to have this phone as my only phone unless I was going somewhere where my phone might get stolen, broken, etc., and I just needed something cheap to pass the time. Well, that's it. That's my brief review of the Umidigi F3 Pro 5G. It's not terrible, but it's also kind of terrible. If you're after a cheap phone, I'd recommend going for a Samsung, Xiaomi, or buying a used phone instead. Used phones are really good these days as long as the battery's still in decent shape.